Hello, welcome to another CEDH video. Today we have Austin playing Kess, Dissident Mage, Nick playing Kydele, Chosen of Crewfix, partnered with Kraum, Ludovic's Opus, Ian playing Selvala, Heart of the Wild, and Evan playing Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. Evan wins the die roll and goes first. Evan plays a swamp and casts a Death Greeter. Ian plays a forest and casts a Boreal Druid. Austin plays a mountain, then casts a Soul Ring and a Dimir Signet. Nick plays a command tower and a Sensei's Divining Top. Evan plays a swamp and casts a Nihil Spellbomb. Ian plays a forest and casts Selvala, Heart of the Wild. Austin plays a luxury suite. Nick plays an island and casts Gamble, discarding Echo of Eons. Evan plays a swamp and casts Sign in Blood, drawing 2 cards, losing 2 life. Ian casts a Gilded Goose. Austin responds to Ian passing the turn with Epiphany at the Drown Yard, revealing 2 islands, a command tower, and a Crypt of the Eternals, putting an island and the Crypt of Eternals into Austin's hand. Austin draws a Reforge the Soul and casts it for its miracle cost, each player discarding their hand and drawing 7 cards. Ian discards an Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, so Ian shuffles his grave into his library after drawing 7. At the end of Austin's turn, Nick looks at the top 3 cards of his library with Sensei's Top. Nick plays a Shivan Reef, then casts Rhystic Study. Austin responds with Pyroblast, countering the spell. Evan plays a Cabal Stronghold, then casts Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. Ian plays a Forest, then casts an Exploration. Ian plays Wirewood Lodge for his second land for the turn, then casts a Dimir Sabertooth. Selvala trigger, Ian draws a card. Austin casts a Chromatic Lantern, then casts a Narset Barter of the Veils. Nick plays a Yavimaya Coast, then casts Kydele, Chosen of Crewfix. Evan plays a Swamp, then casts a Sightless Ghoul. Ian goes straight to combat and attacks Narset for 5. Ian casts a Guardian Project. Ian uses Wirewood Lodge to untap Selvala, then activates Selvala and casts Llanowar Elves, then casts a Lightning Greaves and equips the Greaves to Selvala. Austin plays an Ash Barrens, then casts a Demonic Tutor, searching for Blasphemous Act and casting it. Evan gains 8 life through Death Greeter and puts Yawgmoth into his grave. Nick plays a Carplusian Forest, then casts a Reforge the Soul with its miracle cost. Austin responds with Mystical Tutor, searching for Entomb. Each player discards their hand and draws 7. Nick then casts Windfall. Both Austin and Evan respond with Entomb. Austin searches for Passing Flames and Evan searches for Ulamog, Infinite Gyre. Ulamog shuffles Evan's graveyard into his library and Evan puts Yawgmoth back into the command zone. Evan uses Cabal Stronghold to get 4 black mana, then casts Sign in Blood. He then plays a Swamp for the turn, then casts a Zulaport Cutthroat and Dreadhorde Invasion. Ian plays a Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and a Forest. He casts a Wirewood Symbiote. Guardian Project triggers, Ian draws a card. Then casts Selvala, Guardian Project trigger, Ian draws a card. Austin plays an island for turn, then casts Dissident Mage. Austin takes a good few minutes to decide what to cast, since his grave is under pressure of getting exiled from the Spellbomb. Austin decides to cast Dark Ritual out of his graveyard, then casts Fraying Sanity from hand, then casts Snap on the Wirewood Symbiote. Austin then passes. Fraying Sanity trigger, 1 card gets milled. Nick plays a Stomping Ground untapped, then casts Kydele. Evan's upkeep, he loses a life and gets a zombie army from the Dreadhorde Invasion. Evan activates Cabal Stronghold for 5 black mana, then casts Scourge Familiar. Austin responds with Forbidden Alchemy. Evan discards 4 cards to Scourge Familiar for 4 black mana. One of the discarded cards is Ulamog, so his grave gets shuffled into his library. Then Evan casts Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. Evan activates Yawgmoth's first ability to sacrifice the zombie army to put a neg-1 counter onto Sightless Ghoul and to draw a card. Evan sacrifices the Ghoul. The Ghoul comes back with the +1/+1 counter. Evan then casts a Pawn of Ulamog. Evan then demonstrates a loop of the ghoul dying and coming back because he gets a scion from the pawn each time the ghoul dies. With the Zulaput Cutthroat, the table gets drained for 1 each time the ghoul dies. Thank you for watching the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.